Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anybody out there listening. Good morning. Tell my friends. Today is we got a big thunderstorm today. You'll probably hear it. There's lightning and thunder. It's starting to break up a little bit, but there's a hurricane went through here a few minutes ago. So we'll see if it comes back or not. But anyway, today I'd like to talk a little bit about, what the book has to offer. It's kind of going to be a light topic, not a big topic, but, I remember years ago, and this is when I was realizing that behind every principle is a promise. Like there's promises all through the book, right? Behind every principle, every step we take, there's, there's an accomplishment, right? Or there's something happens. Like, serenity, or you comprehend the word serenity, will know peace, and those are the step 9 promises, stuff like that. And then I'll talk a little bit about step 10 and exactly what that means. But so one time they asked me to read the promises, and I said, well, what promises? And they looked at me like I was crazy, and they were like, well, the promises, page 83, the promises, right? Page 83, okay, I said, and they gave it to me, and I was joking around, I was messing with them. I like to do that. And on page 83, it starts off with, if we are painstaking, about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. Okay, halfway through step 9, right? We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We shall comprehend the word serenity, and we shall know peace. Okay? No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how and you can read it for yourself. It's now on page 84. And self-pity will disappear. And the one I like the best is we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows, right? And so there's a list of promises, and we read them almost in every meeting, sometimes at the end, But there's a set of promises between after every step. Like I like the step 10 promises. And I'll get to what we do in step 10 in a minute, but after step 10, when we continue to do this inventory that we did in 4, and then continue to talk to God and talk to somebody else about it, making amends if we have to, there's another set of promises. And these are my favorite promises, because it says after this, it says, after we do this step 10, it says, and we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it like a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, okay, when it comes to alcohol. And we will find that this has happened automatically. We didn't work at not drinking. We worked at something else. We worked a spiritual solution. We didn't go around working at not drinking, right? We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. I mean, that's what I came to AA for. To have that obsession lifted, to be not interested in alcohol anymore. That's a big promise. That's a step 10 promise, It says that is the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, nor are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we had been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. There you go again. Instead, the problem has been removed. Imagine that, the alcohol problem, the reason I went to Alcoholics Anonymous to begin with, has been removed. That obsession has been lifted. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. Now here's the thing, okay? That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. Remember I said there's 2 mistakes that we make in AA? The first one is fail to enlarge our spiritual life. And the other one is let up on the spiritual program of action. Has got nothing to do with drinking, right? It's all got to do with spirituality. So it says, and if the book says something's easy, it's probably easy. And it says, it is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. We are headed for trouble if we do. For alcohol is a subtle foe. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is we have that daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. That's what the steps help us do. We're undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in the simple way we've just outlined. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. That's step 10 promises. You go to step 11, promises there too. I don't have to go over them all, but here's step. As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful. Ask for the next right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, "Thy will be done." We are then in much less danger of excitement, that's a promise, and less much danger of fear, of anger, of worry, of self-pity, foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. This is step 11 promises. Much more. I'd love to be much more efficient in all areas of my life. I don't like to burn up energy foolishly. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. You go over here to step 4. Under fear, it says after we do fear in step 4, it says at once we commence to outgrow fear. There's promises in step 4. There's promises in step 5. Promises in 6 and 7. To remove our character defects that's blocking us from God. So there's promises at every step. And, I know what they mean when they say, in Alcoholics Anonymous, read the promises around 83. But let's not be fooled that the program has a lot more to offer than just the promises on step 83. And it's just so happened that my favorite promises are step 10 promises. They're on page 85, because you tell me something like the problem will be removed, the problem that was killing me, that I almost died over, that I lost my son over, that I almost killed somebody else over, that problem has been removed. Doesn't get any bigger or better than that for me, And all we're doing in this program, it's going to be the same stuff over and over again. Like in 4, 5, 6, and 7, we looked at resentments, and we looked at fears, and we looked at selfishness, and we looked at dishonesty. And we get to step 10, and we're going to look at dishonesty and resentment and fears, and we're going to look at that stuff again. Okay, and we're going to ask God to remove it. We'll talk to somebody about it. We're going to do basic steps 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8 and 9, making amends if we have to. So it's a very simple program. We're looking at the same stuff over and over again. We really do a good analyzation of it, the resentments and fears in step 4, and talk to somebody about it, and then get busy with God's help in 6 and 7 and start removing this stuff. Then we're going to do the same thing at 10. We're going to look at the same thing. And then in step 11, it says when we retire at night, we look for the same thing. They change the words around a little bit, but they're looking for the same thing. Were we afraid? Were we resentful? Were we dishonest? Were we self-seeking? Were we frightened? Like it's the same stuff, over and over again. And we're going to keep looking for that stuff. And we're going to keep trying to remove it on a daily reprieve. We're going to do this daily. And it's impossible to do this stuff and practice these principles. And like I said, behind every principle is a promise. It's impossible to practice this stuff day by day by day and not grow. You can't help but grow spiritually by doing this stuff. But the trick is you got to do it. A lot of people come and they sit in meetings and they expect to be sober. You got to do the work in order to get these promises. So I didn't do the work. In the beginning, I didn't do the work, and I didn't get any promises. And when I started doing the work, all these promises, not just step 10, but especially the obsession being lifted, started to appear in my life. I haven't had a real obsession to drink alcohol in over 18 years, Something's working, but I keep doing this. This is not an overnight matter. It has to continue for our lifetime. Step 10 says, we got to keep doing this. If I stopped doing this, I'd have to be insane. Something that's saving my life, a program that is saving my life where I could not stop drinking for not even my own son. And now all of a sudden, I'm practicing spiritual principles, and I no longer require a drink. I no longer think about drinking. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep practicing these principles, and I'll probably keep getting these promises, and I'll probably keep growing spiritually. The book promises that. So anyway, that's it. That's basically just wanted to talk a little bit about the promises and where they're all through the book. They're not just on page 83. There's promises everywhere. I love them all. I love all the promises. There's a lot more going on in Alcoholics Anonymous than just not drinking. We get so much more for it. Not to mention a host of friends, that'd be step 12 promise. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm running out of time, but we just get so much more. So anyway, guys, you guys have a great day. Love you all. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.